Well, it's time to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. And joining us this morning is public affairs analyst Shijibomi Adebi Bennett, as well as political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode, whose birthday is today. Oh. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I can hear a birthday proverb today.
Probably, yeah, probably.
All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the News Direct. $500 million signature bonuses. Controversy trails transparency of marginal fields bid processes as money bags allegedly hijacked the processes. Minister to address contending issues Wednesday, DPR. You find those stories on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the blueprint now, as Buhari IGP order probe, governors say attack on Otom a rude awakening. Attack on Otom a rude awakening. You find that story on the front page of the blueprint. We'll move now to the Leadership newspaper. Reps bill, lawmakers already have powers to summon president, others sans. Lawmakers already have powers to summon president, others sans. Senior advocate of Nigeria reacting there. You find that story on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. To the Daily Times now. Gawon others want a rotation of presidency among 6 regions, governorship in states, others. Gawon wants rotation of presidency among 6 regions, governorship in states, others. You find that story on the front page of the Daily Times. To the Daily Independent now, plugging budget deficit fuels high inflation, job loss, experts. Plugging budget deficit fuels high inflation, job loss, expert. That story on the front page of the Daily Independent. To the Business Day now, Nigeria's fiscal position remains precarious despite rising oil price. Nigeria's fiscal position remains precarious despite rising oil price. To the national economy, absence of intermodal cargo evacuation system threatens Nigeria's deep seaport development. Absence of intermodal cargo evacuation system threatens Nigeria's deep seaport development. A story on the front page of the national economy. To the Nation newspaper now, rage over attack on Otom. Buhari orders investigation. Nigeria on life support, says governor. You find the story on the front page of the Nation newspaper. To the Punch newspaper now, Otom's attempted assassination. Governors, Middle Belt, others express anger. Inspector General of Police dispatches a special probe squad. IG orders security beef up around Benue governor. Others probe into attempted killing. Don't sweep assassination attempt under the carpet. Middle Belt Forum tells federal government. Fulani group claims responsibility for attack. Says Otom won't escape next time. Right, so you find that story on the front page of the Punch. To the Daily Trust now, over 60 million Nigerians risk water-related diseases. Many rely on streams, boreholes. Indiscriminate digging of boreholes dangerous. Expert warns. You find the story on the front page of the Daily Trust. To the Daily Sun now. Our governors, Inspector General of Police, others talk tough over attempt to kill Otom. Perpetrators of attack must be unmasked. The Governors Forum tells security agents, PDP governors, APC flare attack, will investigate, arrest suspects. Police boss, Miyati Allah demands reversal of open grazing. You find that story on the front page of the Daily Sun. To the Guardian now, award-winning movie Eyimofe returns to Nigeria after successful run at World's Top Film Festival. Acclaimed Nigerian film to premiere in Lagos on Sunday, April the 18th. To the Vanguard now, diaspora cash remittances. Okay, that's governors, APC, PDP, others rail against attack on Otom. Sponsors of disturbing attack on Otom must be uncovered. Northern governors, PDP governors condemn attack on Otom, say it is an invitation to anarchy. Benue people not weak, Mark says citizens may resort to self-help. As IGP orders full-scale investigations into assassination attempt, Others beef up on security around governor. Don't politicize attack on Autumn APC. Buhari orders thorough, transparent investigation of attack. Well, that's the last story on the front pages this morning, but still talking matters of insecurity, though not from any of the pages this morning, but something that has been a reoccurring incident in Kaduna State is what we will be looking at first before we'll delve into one of the stories on the pages of the papers this morning, talking about the ending banditry in Kaduna. We see what has been occurring in the state, not just banditry, the whole insecurity, the situation in that state, reoccurring incident. And a recent report tagged situation in Kaduna State from January the 1st to December 2020. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, said bandits killed 937 persons and kidnapped about 1,972 persons, overwhelming figures. And this is outside of the incidents that we have witnessed from January till date in that state. Overwhelming figures, and it's raising concerns and questions. How do we tackle this head on in Kaduna State? Let's begin with you, Shijibun.
I think the first thing we have to look at is the challenge of the reason for the spike in the number of cases of banditry in Kaduna. The governor in that state has made up his mind, and he has been very vocal about it.
Absolutely.
Not to grant amnesty or give money to bandits. The bandits have also made up their mind to make that state ungovernable for El-Rufai. And you can see all the attention have been focused on Kaduna. The problem or the challenges in Niger State has come down. Not that things are not happening in Niger State, Zamfara, but you won't really hear that.
There's relative
every
calm.
day in Kaduna, every day, even when the news does not report it, there is something going on in Kaduna. People, you can see the figures that Arwan just mentioned.
Yeah.
Now, what is the government supposed to do about that? Focus is on this guy. They want to make sure this guy resigns his decision or eat up his own words. The federal government should help in supporting that state. It is in that state where we have the most of all the formations in the military.
Yes.
In Kaduna. So what's happening there? What support is the federal government giving to that state? That's one. Then number two, can we learn from Kano and Jigawa? What is happening? Why are those two states insulated from all the problems in the Northwest? We hardly hear anything in Kano or in Jigawa. We are not saying because there's nothing is happening in those states that the bandits should go there. But at least, what are they doing differently? Yes. That other states can learn from. Even Kebbi has been neither here nor there, but it's still relatively peaceful. So we should, I think the Northwestern governors should sit down, then, as they have said, simultaneously find a way to fight this scourge together. Not focusing on
but you would recall that there was some sort of discordant tunes amongst them on whether to settle bandits or not to settle bandits and all of it.
I think all of them have now decided that they are not settling them again. Katsina did it. Zamfara did it. Those were the governors championing the settlement of bandits. And when Gumi went to Zamfara, those were the things he was also trying to get. But you could see that Katsina governor came out authoritatively to say, we are not doing that anymore, and even warned Sheikh Gumi. Now, the Zamfara state governor has also told that line. So, in the Northwest today, as of today, based on the narrative and that cause championed by El-Rufai, no governor in that zone is ready to settle bandits again or pay ransom to anybody. So, And I think they should take it a notch further. Now, what can we do? What is the federal government? Do we want a special force that would be a combination of the military, the mobile police, or the civil defense? Give it another name. Let there be a simultaneous synergy, so that as they're fighting in this state, they're fighting them.
And there are no gaps.
There are no gaps, so that they don't run to Nigeria today and run back to Zamfara tomorrow.
All right, Dr. Diakade.
You see, sometimes when my brother is talking, I just laugh.
Right. Why?
Like we were saying behind the camera the other time. I said, have you seen it now? Some of us that have been talking about conspiracy theory in this thing, is it coming to the fore now or not? You were telling viewers just now, as regards some states that were not affected and some states that were affected. Not until when Nigerians decide to come to the round table and tell each other the truth about what is happening as regards insecurity in this country, we're going to get nowhere. We'll only be chasing shadows. Now, look at those states that are being really affected. Which party controls those states? Those states that are trying to say they are not involved, which party controls them?
Is this about party now?
Because all these things
are politicizing insecurity. Is that what you're saying?
You have to listen to this, because it's a kind of a mosaic.
I just want to understand better.
It's a kind of a mosaic that you need to put together. It's a juggle that when you don't put them together, you're not going to understand.
Right.
It's just like when you are playing Scrabble. If you don't put them together, you won't understand all those connections. Now listen to this.
Right.
Listen to this. The governor that says he's not going to pay ransom again, has he been paying it before? Remember the governor that went to Chad? Why was he paying ransom then? Big question. 2, Baguda, what's his name? Baraje, that led them from PDP to APC, said, at a conference, I want them not to bring in these people, these mercenaries, because at the end of the day, they will not be able to contain it. Yes or no? As people ask questions further,
but this unfounded
secondly, for somebody to hold a press conference to say that, you are saying it's an unfounded statement when he was with them.
Can you prove it? Can he?
He was with them. Without being with them at that time, he wouldn't have mentioned it. How about Melaifa? What's his name? Melafia, the former deputy governor of CBN. Did he not also mention it? Madam Taraba, when she was about to be molested, she also mentioned it. That if you guys are not careful, I will spill beans as regards these incidents of Chibok girls. What I'm saying is this. The chicken has come home to roast now. All we need to do is, as leaders, let them sit down and own up and apologize to Nigerians.
They've been having conversation as governors.
That conversation is not there. Look at what happened in Ekiti State. Look at what happened in Ekiti State on ordinary House of Assembly election that took place in how many wards. Look at what happened. And those who want to tell me those guys will have that temerity to come and be shooting many at that kind of election without some people supporting them. Have you not heard about incidences of all those Marudas courts and mentioning what I call it now, politicians, of giving them arms and ammunition for election purposes, and after election they abandon them, and you want them to be sent at home hungry without doing something with it? To what extent have they been able to collect those things back? Now, where I'm going is this.
Right.
Where I'm going is this. Ever since this has been happening, you have been settling these people. Who are the people you are settling? Have you arrested any one of them? Have you prosecuted any one of them? Have you punished any one of them to serve as a deterrent to others? When you're now talking also of how to catch them, don't we have technology?
Yeah, they are deploying technology to address this.
Imagine people's telephone missing, ordinary telephone. All you need to do is take your part to the police station, and they will track even the room that person is using that phone. And then want to tell me we don't have sophisticated technology to be able to arrest these people?
We have it.
So why we not deploying it? Why are we talking tough without walking the talk? So that's what I'm saying. We should, without the people that brought these people in, apologizing to the people, these guys will still be holding them to ransom. Because they know by the time they arrest them and prosecute them, they will spill beans and they'll be ashamed. So let them be ashamed before those people will shame them.
So how do we
can stop this?
You talked about having a roundtable discussion. What should we be talking about if we are having that conversation?
It's not about round
it's also what you mentioned.
It's about
telling ourselves the truth.
How do I now put it?
What is the truth we need to be telling ourselves?
Let us have a truth whatever committee and let them sit down. Let them talk to Nigerians. These are the things that happened. Because even during election, we were saying, if this particular person did not hand over to us, you will be picking people's body with body bags on the streets. Dogs will be licking people's blood on the streets.
Is that what it is now?
What are we seeing now? No, what are we seeing now? What are we seeing now? Are dogs not licking people's blood on the streets? Are people not being picked on the street with their body bags?
Is that what we should be telling ourselves when we say we want to tell ourselves?
What I'm saying is we should tell us, let the people that brought them in own up and say we are sorry. Fellow Nigerians, we are sorry. We did this, unfortunately, like Babuda, sorry, I always forget that man's name. Like he said, Baraje. That we will not be able to curtail them. Yes, we cannot curtail them now. We are sorry. But we need your support to eradicate these people from our country.
Right.
Then Nigeria will know. And then all of us will now sit down. Myself and my brother will have known. But look, it's not about theory now. It's about the truth. Then you too will be able to join hands with everybody to send these people out of the country. And then we have our peace.
Now, I don't know if Shijibomi also is in support of having a conversation on
as regards the truth, not just conversation.
Having a conversation, if a conversation is what will tackle this issue head on. Because you see that a lot of schools have even been closed with regards to this issue, the situation even in Kaduna State. And children who are somewhat innocent are being affected by these developing issues that we are seeing. And the aspect of collaboration among states, how far will that also go to addressing these issues as well?
For me, I don't think there is any truth we need to talk about. Everybody knows the problem in Nigeria. And sometimes, why we'll try to, add all these issues together, we create a kind of confusion again. The solution and the problem, the source of the problem, Dr. Kawede mentioned it. All other references are not part of the problem. Baraje saying that it's just, Baraje was APC then, new PDP that joined APC. And if you remember, the same thing Baraje is complaining about, his principal also did. When they arrested people that went to offer to kill 33 people, who did they mention?
Right.
It was Baraje's principal.
Right.
This is a pattern with politicians. Because it's not bandits today, we want to put all the blame on mercenaries coming in, or on fighters coming in, or maybe Fulani from other nations coming in. No. The one that happened that I mentioned in Ekiti, are they people from outside
the country?
Politicians always arm youth.
Exactly.
And when they do that, after the election, they don't take those arms back. It's even wrong for them to do that in the first place. And our security operatives are also complicit. So at the end of the day, we create a bigger problem than the one that was there in the beginning. Yeah. So what are we supposed to do? There is no mention of truth there. Just make sure that elections don't become war again. Take all the physical, like
mopping up of arms.
Apart from that, electoral law, review them. These things are simple. It's a matter of laws and all that. Now, before from collation center, before you get from from polling booth, before you get to collation centers, things will have happened. It's not possible anymore. So you just make sure the man in Aso Rock should just sit up, make sure that electoral law is passed. So we have more of electronic voting. So those things will reduce by itself. That's one. And don't forget, politicians will always devise new means. Now, talking about the Kaduna and the Northwest states issue, we sometimes, because we are on national TV, I like to say it the way it happened that time. So that not only do we come to discuss, we find solutions and we know how it is.
Absolutely.
What El-Rufai did as at that time was an issue of rustling. People were coming into the country, and people in the country and other Fulanis from other places, and their cows were being rustled. So these people identified communities where
are they coming in?
That's a different question. Dr. Kaudi, that's a different question. But I'm just stating what happened.
Right.
So when these people come in and their cattle are rustled, they look the villages where those things happen. They face those villages. So he now went to appease that instead of killing innocent people who may not be in court, the people that rustle your cows, we pay for those cows you lost. When Boko Haram, because sometimes we try to shy away from all this truth, when Boko Haram now infiltrated the banditry, because it's obvious Boko Haram has infiltrated it, then they now saw that this thing is not now an issue of rustling. Then there are political undertones in terms of tribal and all other sentiments. Yes. So that was when everybody knew this is not a problem of just settling these people again for rustling. So it's not like they were kidnapping in Kaduna and people were going and you were paying them money. No. So let's see. So because when we look at it from the how it is or how it was, then we'll be able to get the proper perspective and solutions to all these things. So that's my take. We have said it. We know what is happening. So
if you are proffering solutions now, because we have very limited time, if you're proffering solutions now, for some persons, they are saying perhaps we should look at states collaborating
to
address these issues.
Synergizing and addressing it at the same time, simultaneously. Then the security apparatus in Nigeria, we have to address it. As of today,
decentralizing, is that what you're looking at?
That's a medium term.
Okay.
A short term approach to it. Why are the military now in charge of internal security? The police is nowhere to be found. How are we going to address that issue? Are we just going to fold our hands until there is zero policing in Nigeria again? As of today, there is 20% policing in Nigeria. If you are in K today, as early as 6:30, if you're not careful. The other day, 9 a.m., I was going towards...
Perhaps, do you think the dimension with which insecurity is taking is perhaps what is making the government look at perhaps moving around this, the military to address the issues?
Because the police cannot do the work again. We have a whole lot of unemployed youths. And what are they doing? Nothing.
Right.
Unemployment is part of the problem as well.
Right. You see, Veronica.
Solutions now.
Yeah. Go and bring the best moa in the world to moa grass. This elephant grass, to moa it. After that, it becomes more dangerous. Okay? Without you uprooting it, you can never stop
from
the way that elephant grass
grows.
Disturbs, not grows. If it grows, elephant grass can make somebody to be incapacitated.
Right.
Sure. When it enters anybody's leg and you don't take care of it properly, that leg will be cut off. Go and ask.
Right.
Now, I can understand the feelings of my brother. You are on national TV, yes. Does that mean we shouldn't say the truth?
Talking solutions now.
Yeah, that's why I said without uprooting it. We have to uproot it. And how do we uproot it? It's by telling ourselves the truth. Saying somebody is rustling cow When somebody rustles your car and you are killing, rustling car, does it give you the temerity to go and kill and maim and occupy people's houses and occupy people's villages and then host your own flag? And then the security people will be saying they don't know who and who are occupying that place. When you have already established yourself in that particular local government.
Right.
So we're talking about not until we stop calling spade a farm equipment, but call it spade. We ain't going to get. I was watching the television just now when some people were in a conference and I was listening to them. Yeah, good theory. But were they telling themselves the truth? No.
All right.
Let us get to the root of this matter, and then we'll be able to know how to attack it.
Dr. Dayo Kayode, political technocrat, thank you for your time on the program. Public affairs analyst Shijibumi Adibi Bennett, thank you as well.
Thank you for having me.